Bishops' Conferences, which is a voluntary association of the Catholic Bishops' Conferences and ecclesiastical jurisdictions across South, Southeast, East, and Central Asia. The FABC was established following the historic meeting of Asian bishops during the visit of Pope St. Paul VI to Manila in 1970, and inspired by the spirit of the Second Vatican Council. The statutes of the same FABC was approved by the Holy See in 1972. For more than 5 decades, the FABC has served as a platform for the bishops of Asia to reflect together on the Church's mission in one of the world's most diverse continents. It promotes solidarity and collaboration among the local churches while fostering evangelization, dialogue with other religions, theological reflection, social engagement, human development, and social communications. It also provides a forum for addressing pastoral challenges common to the region. Plenary assemblies. What are plenary assemblies? The plenary assembly is basically the highest decision-making body of the FABC, and it is ordinarily convened every 4 years. Since the first assembly in Taipei, Taiwan in 1974, the bishops of Asia have gathered periodically to discern how the Church should respond to the changing realities of the Asian continent. And over the years, the assemblies have addressed themes including evangelization, prayer, the mission of the laity, Christian discipleship, the Asian family, the Eucharist, youth evangelization, and the family as the domestic church. And the most recent plenary assembly was held in Colombo, Sri Lanka in 2016 under the theme, The Catholic Family in Asia, Domestic Church of the Poor on a Mission of Mercy. The 12th Plenary Assembly. As much as this year's assembly is concerned, we are now at a situation wherein we are on its ecclesial situation wherein after the FABC 50 or General Conference, which was held in Bangkok, that produced the Bangkok document last 2023, the final document of the Synodality of 2024, and then the Jubilee Year of Hope of last year, and the beginning of the pontificate of Pope Leo XVI. With all these milestones, we have 14. Together, these milestones have renewed the Church's commitment to synodality and missionary renewal. The theme for this assembly is the call to synodal conversion and the mission to be bridges and bridge builders in Asia. The theme highlights 2 closely connected dimensions. The first one is synodal conversion, the ongoing personal and communal conversion that enables the Church to become more participatory, missionary, transparent, and responsive to the guidance of the Holy Spirit. And the second is the Church's mission to become bridges and bridge builders in Asia, a continent marked by extraordinary cultural, religious, linguistic, and ethnic diversity, but also by poverty, conflict, migration, environmental challenges, and rapid social change. The bishops during this assembly will reflect on how the Church can promote dialogue, reconciliation, peace, and human dignity by building bridges both within the Church and with society. Now, how does this assembly work? This assembly is designed to be much more than a conference. It is intended rather to be a genuine synodal experience. Throughout the week, participants will engage in prayer, Eucharistic celebrations, spiritual reflections, discernment, conversations in the Spirit, plenary sessions, regional sessions, and table conversations. The emphasis is on listening to one another and discerning together what the Holy Spirit is calling the Church in Asia to become. Rather than discussing synodality in theory, the assembly hopefully will focus on practical ways of implementing it in the life and mission of the Church throughout Asia. So what are our expected outcomes? The assembly is expected to produce 2 principal documents. The first is the final document, envisioned as a practical vademecum on synodality in Asia, offering pastoral guidance for the local churches across the continent. The second is a message to the Church in Asia, summarizing the Assembly's reflections and encouraging Catholics throughout the region to continue the journey of synodal renewal. So who are the participants of this assembly? The 12th Plenary Assembly brings together more than 120 cardinals, bishops from across Asia, representing the 22 member episcopal conferences and ecclesiastical jurisdictions of the FABC across Central, East, South, and Southeast Asia. These will include the bishops' conferences of Bangladesh, India, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Japan, South Korea, Taiwan, Myanmar, Malaysia, Singapore, Brunei, the Philippines, Thailand, Vietnam, Timor-Leste, Indonesia, Laos, Cambodia, together with Hong Kong, Macau, Nepal, Central Asia, and the Syro-Malabar and Syro-Malankara churches. In addition to the bishops, the assembly includes also representatives of the Holy See, theologians, experts, facilitators, moderators, observers, and members of the FABC Secretariat who will assist in the discernment process. What are the special highlights? Pope Leo XIV has appointed Cardinal Oswald Gracious, the Archbishop Emeritus of Bombay, India, as his special envoy to the Assembly. Cardinal Luis Antonio Tagle, Pro-Prefect of the Dicastery for Evangelization, will lead the participants in a day of recollection at the beginning of the Assembly. And then Cardinal Mario Grech, Secretary General of the General Secretariat of the Synod, will deliver a keynote presentation on pathways for the implementation of the Synod. The participants will also receive a video message from Pope Leo XIV, which will be shared during the Assembly. And then the closing Eucharistic celebration will be held at the Cathedral of Our Lady of the Assumption in Jakarta, followed by a visit to the Istiqlal Mosque, Southeast Asia's largest mosque. Participants will walk through the Terowongan Silaturahmi Friendship Tunnel, which physically links the mosque with the neighboring Cathedral of Our Lady of the Assumption, symbolizing Indonesia's long-standing commitment to interreligious harmony. And in the closing of the Plenary Assembly, it is more than just a meeting of bishops as we hope it to be. Thus, it is a significant moment for the Church in Asia to pray together, listen to one another, discern the signs of the times, and seek new ways of proclaiming the gospel in one of the world's most dynamic and diverse regions. Thus, we hope that this gathering will strengthen the Church's witness to communion, participation, and mission, while inspiring Catholics across Asia to become bridges and bridge builders within their families, communities, nations, and among people of different cultures and religions. So again, our gratitude for your presence, and we look forward to working with all of you throughout the Assembly and sharing this important journey with the wider Church and the people of Asia.